Right. You can hear me, right? Heck yeah. Oh, come on. I probably should have done this before, but I didn't. Oh, come on. This is being kooky. It's being kooky, guys. Probably not going to be a very long stream today. Oh, whatever. I'll just fucking... Okay. I'm pretty confused. Not gonna lie. Gonna keep it a stack with you. I might not do a webcam this time. Oh boy. Alright, let me take this out. Bear with me, guys. Thank you for being patient. Yes. And... Okay, and... Video capture device. What the fuck? That's crazy, bro. It's not working. It got a picture of me. I got all dressed up, bro. Alright. And then... I wonder what the hell. I wonder what the hell. That's what I'm wondering. What the hell? Hmm. God, that wind feels good. I'm gonna tweak. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I don't understand. Just delete that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do it one more time. There we go. There we go. I am sweating right now. That was hard work. Oh boy. That is jarring. Okay, guys. Probably not gonna be a very long stream today. I'm probably, I'm not gonna lie, probably gonna pad time by watching videos. Okay, beautiful. Got that down. Okay. So, I just wanted to show you with any, okay, let's see here. I'm making sure. Heck yeah, dude. I'm so excited that I just did that all on my own. So if you go on any government website, it's going to say Democrats have shut down the government. Not the government is shut down or like we'll be back, it's always just like Democrats have shut down the government. I'll show you more instances of this. What is that? Next to your name, Archer. So let's go FBI.gov. Let's see. Ooh, nothing here. Okay, what about National Parks website? Right here. Ooh, okay, they changed it. They changed it. Um, it's used to say Democrat government shutdown. Bureau of Land Management, BLM. I should probably pull YouTube up on my telly. But yeah, it's a blame game. And if you look at the Nick Beam stream, baby. There we go. Awesome. If you look at this here, this is the Trump administration's guidebook, okay? And if you know this, you know their secrets. If you know this, you know their secrets, right? Counterattack, so Democrats. This is a Democratic shutdown. Manipulate the media. And he also said, I covered this last time, there was a really close person to Trump said, like, this isn't true. And she said that Trump, so she said, he said, so it's hearsay, but it definitely sounds like something he would say. If you say it enough times, they will believe you. So that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun and cool. I saw this. If you don't know who Eric Adams is, he's the New York mayor, and he is like, I'm blue collar. I'm a blue collar guy. Oh, come on, you fuck. Alright, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, I gotta find it. Can I not see? Okay, right here. Sorry, guys, I guess I'm just not with it right now. Playlist history right here. Okay. Boom. Bang. Y'all can see this, right? Y'all can see this? Yeah, cool. Awesome. Okay. So if you don't know who Eric Adams is, he's a blue collar guy. He's a he's a hoot and a holler. Little prediction from Mr. Walter Masterson. I like him. Maybe. Maybe. Oh. Okay. Sorry, folks.
So Eric Adams just dropped out of the race. And in a few weeks, you're going to hear that he took a 7-figure job with a major real estate developer. and I'm sure it's going to be a total coincidence. Yeah. So,
Okay. I'm sure that's going to happen. I'm sure that will happen. Um, and you know what else is a coincidence here? Um, let's see here. Qatar 747. Let's see here. Gift. In 2025, Qatar gifted the luxurious appointed Boeing 747-8 to the United States for use as a potential new Air Force One. The donation has raised legal and ethical concerns, particularly regarding of retrofitting the aircraft and planned transfer. Wait, sorry. And its planned transfer to Donald Trump's presidential library after his term. Okay, so he was given. Oopsie. He was given this. And then let's see here. Qatar golf course here. And this was April 30th of this year here. They gave him they cut him a deal and gave him a luxury golf resort in Qatar. They're going to build a Trump golf resort in Qatar. I'll just read this here. I fucking hate pop-ups. The Trump family struck a deal Wednesday to build a luxury golf course in Qatar, and a sign it has no plans to hold back from foreign deal making during a second Trump administration, despite the danger of a president shaping U.S. public policy for personal financial gain. Okay. Fast forward to this was April 30th of this year. Fast forward to today. I'm just going to look up Air Force, Idaho. Let's see Mountain Home here. Okay. Huh. Weird. So, it has nothing. The Qatari Air Base in Idaho has nothing to do with Trump getting a plane or this right here or cutting a deal with the government. Okay? It has nothing to do with it. Because that would be bribery, and the president doesn't bribe people. We are incredibly proud to expand the Trump brand into Qatar through this exceptional collaboration with Qatar Dari and Dar Global, he said. So there's nothing to see here. Nothing to see here, guys. Isn't that so fun and cool? He's making money off of being president. Billions of dollars. Let's see here. Trump net worth graph. Let's see here. Let's see how much fucking money he's been worth. Okay. This is from Forbes. Okay. So, in 83, in the middle of 88, he became a billionaire. The middle of 88. And then he faced a bunch of debt, and then for almost 6 years, he wasn't even on the top, right? On the Forbes list. So, this, I mean, he became very famous through, pop culture and everything. And then the recession happened, and then he announced his presidency, and made a bunch of money in 2015. Okay. Let's see. 2025. Let me see here. Is this 2025? So in I have this pulled up already. 2017, he was worth just over $3 billion. I doubt that for sure. Ah, okay, it did drop. COVID-19. His stake in Trump Media and Technology Group. Trump Media is very funny, by the way. That's just state media at that point. That's Kim Jong-un Media. The parent company of Truth Social was a major factor in his financial growth. So he was worth 3 billion, right? And now he's worth 6 billion after he is president here. And he grew 3 billion since 2024. Okay? Because every single Trump 2024 hat I want to see how many companies he has and how fast they've grown. Cuz mobile, Trump RX, Trump phone, Trump Media Company, Trump Tower, Trump Golf Course, Trump Vodka, Trump Steaks. I know he's got all of those, and all of those have his name on it. How many buzziness does Trump own? Well over 500. Huh. Privately held. Yep, he handed it down to his kids, right? He handed it down to his kids. But his net worth is going up. Weird. That's very odd. Yeah, and he also decided it would be a good idea to put a Qatari Air Force, base down in old Idaho here. And I don't think they've even talked about it. Oh yeah, no. Trump said that or not Trump. JD Vance said it was fake news. Qatar Air Base. Yeah. He said it was a fake story. Isn't that wild? Why would you deny that? Why would you deny it when it's true? If you say it enough times, they'll believe you. You say it enough times, they'll believe you.
What is the function of this Qatar facility? People are wondering, is this an air base? What is Qatar going to be developing in Idaho?
Yeah, I saw some reporting about this, Maria. I actually talked to the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, this morning. This is largely a fake story. We continue to have with countries that we work with. We have relationships where sometimes their pilots work on our bases, sometimes that we train together, sometimes we work together in other ways. The reporting that somehow there is going to be a Qatari base on United States soil, that's just not true. We are continuing to work with a number of our Arabs.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look here. Qatar support Hamas. It's complex and multifaceted, marked by decades of financial and political support. Weird. Is there going to be a Zombies 5? What the fuck is that? Oh, dumb as hell. Qatari base in Idaho. No, Qatar is not. The dedicated training facility. Let's see here. For the facility, Qatari pilots and F-15 fighter jets, which Qatar purchased. They will conduct training along U.S. personnel. Okay. How many foreign... I'm just curious here. Military bases are in the U.S. There are no independent foreign military bases. However, several U.S. bases host foreign military detachments and training programs. So how many foreign dedicating training facilities are in the United States? There's not a number. There are several notable examples explaining Euro, NATO. So Germany, so all of our allies, right? All of our allies. This bothers me a lot. Is Qatar a U.S. ally? Yes. Since 2022. Hell yeah. Yeah, I just, we'll see, I guess. I guess we'll see what they do with that airbase. Oh, my camera almost just turned on. My fucking good camera did. Let's see here. Oops. Yeah, okay. So Pope Leo was known as the woke pope. And I don't think I've ever heard of if you think the Pope is woke, wait till you meet Jesus. Wait till they hear about Jesus, cuz Jesus housed the homeless, fed the hungry, healed the sick. I mean, he just and apparently all of that shit is woke. Let's see here. Try to find Jesus Christ. Now, 5 months into his tenure, the Chicago-born leader of the Catholic Church has angered MAGA-aligned conservatives on multiple fronts, including escalating his pointed criticisms of the Trump administration as it ramps up deportation operations. So he was like, dude, you can't be, you know, putting kids in fucking zip ties and throwing them in a van. You can't be doing that. People are like, why not? The fact that I'm American means, among other things, people can't say, like they did about Francis, he doesn't understand the United States. He just doesn't see what's going on, Leo said in a recent interview. Born Robert Francis Prevost on Chicago's South Side, the Pope reportedly voted in several Republican primaries, but an X account under his name with tweets going back as 2015 previously shared links criticizing Trump's approach to do immigration and hinting at other political views, such as stricter gun control laws. I think that's also needed. I don't think that you should just be able to go in and buy a gun. I think you should go through rigorous mental tests, a physical test, and an IQ test, and training. I think it should be very Like, you have the freedom to do it. You have the freedom to do it. IQ test, I guess not. But, I mean, it's a huge, huge, huge responsibility to be a gun owner. Huge responsibility. And if they're not properly maintained, or you're an idiot and own a SIG, hold on. Is it this one? Yeah, if you're an idiot and owned this, they just need to stop making this gun. It goes off randomly. Yeah, it has a drop safety issue, so you don't even need to drop it. It's crazy. But if you know, if you aren't, ready for anything, and you're just like, oh, I have a gun, look at me, look how cool I am. I have a problem with that. I think it should be a little tougher, just a little bit. Because, I mean, what happened to Charlie Kirk is what's happening to children in classrooms, which is no bueno. Not very good, in my opinion. I don't think kids dying is a good thing. Hot take. Hot take. Let's see here. Shared links. Do you not see the suffering? Is your conscience not disturbed? He apparently posted in 2024 criticizing Trump's meeting with El Salvador President Nayib Bukele, I don't know how to say that, about deportation collaboration. In recent weeks, Leo has started to aim his criticisms directly at Trump's regime, like the more aggressive posture sought by Secretary Pete Hegseth. This wording, like going from minister to defense to minister of war, let's hope it's just a figure of speech, he said recently in Italian. He named himself Pope Leo VIII. He named himself after Pope Leo VIII, who led the Catholic Church from 1878 to 1903 and was known as the Pope of the Workers, making it his mission to confront the ruthless laissez-faire economics of the era. During an interview with Crux, a Catholic news site, Leo the 14th zeroed in on, quote, some things going on in the States that are of concern in our current era, and suggested that, quote, sometimes decisions are made more based on our economics than our human dignity and support. Yeah. And it just really sucks. Bad. Because, I mean, dude, you just see videos like this in Chicago. I'm going to show it again. And they just don't expect to say anything about it. They don't expect you to say anything about it. Does this look like a violent protest that you need to, shoot them with a pepper ball? And I'll go over why I have a big problem with this too. If you are in any sort of like law enforcement, you know that you can't shoot above the neck with non-lethal. You should never aim a less lethal weapon at the head or neck, as it can cause serious injury, permanent disability, or death. Okay? He gets shot 7 times here with pepper balls. Neck, top of the head. Right? And he's suing him. He's fucking suing him. And that didn't look very violent to me. At all. And it makes me sad. And it makes me sick. Let's see Portland live right now. See the ICE protest live right now. Let's go ahead. Oh. It's a war zone, people! It's a war zone! Let's see this. Let's see what the New York Post has to say about it.
They're coming out hard. Oh. Gas. Oh, yeah, shut them down.
Okay. What is... I don't know what happened before this video, but currently, these guys, this blue line right here is the separation of public and private property, or federal property. So this is federal government property right here behind this line. They, right now, are on public ground. And...
Oh, yeah, shut them down. You, man. Oh, quit shoving. You're
now,
pushing.
I don't agree with them being in the street, because that's a traffic hazard. Keep on the sidewalk, you know what I mean?
We never will, you, man.
But they weren't in the road. They were not in the road. They were right here. That's a sidewalk, bub. It's a sidewalk.
Why is he running into it?
We're telling people to close their windows because they're throwing tear gas out. Why is he running like that? I don't see any burning buildings. I don't see a war zone. I don't see very much, you know, violence going on. And Trump is saying that there's a war zone in Portland and these guys are insurrecting. There's a firework that just went off. That's not good. Can't be doing that. That's an insurrection when you fucking throw shit in there. But they're lighting them up. They're lighting them up with rubber bullets and pepper balls right now.
USA! 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 USA!
That might be an M80. That might be a smoke grenade. Yeah, they're lighting them up, bro. Okay, why can't they be right here? Why are they pushing them back this way if... You know what I mean? You've got people that are supporting them on mirroring them, and they don't have a problem with their support they're getting. They have a problem with the pushback they're getting. Like, this guy is standing in the road right now. W picture right here. I recognize that. You know what picture that is? Do you know what that is right here? If you don't know this picture, just from this, I mean... It's this picture right here. It's this picture. Eagle eye, bro. Eagle eye. That's fucking awesome.
I got Captain America. No way. That was uncalled for. That was uncalled for. I had no reason to push it like that.
If this is the dude from the first video where he got pushed, that definitely was uncalled for. Yeah. I mean, dude.
ICE says pop stream.
MSNBC is a left-wing propaganda machine. Let's just watch the video with nothing else. Let's just watch. Jesus. You gonna talk over the full thing?
The school and to do this?
They had a school?
Wait, you guys came to the school to do this?
Do you have a warrant? They haven't asked for a warrant. My name is Jocelyn from Cicero. They don't have a warrant. They didn't ask for one. They forcefully opened the door.
There's kids screaming and crying because they're at a school.
You're being recorded. Just don't get any closer from me, all right? Like, cool? You stay back, please. You're being arrested for
Yeah, but you guys came to the school?
They forced us out of the car. They were following us.
Hey guys,
that's crazy, dude.
Last week, agents in reportedly the intersection and then tackled him. You can hear the masked agent roll down his window and threw the tear gas, causing bystanders to disperse. In Maryland, 2 ICE officers chased a man into a busy intersection and then tackled him. You can hear the man screaming, "Ayuda, help me," during the struggle. And an agent dropped his handgun and then appears to point it at bystanders.
Ayuda! Hey, look at me, bro! Ayuda! Right there! Ayúdame! They're trying to kill me! Ayúdame!
In the middle of an intersection. Dropped his gun. And now he's pointing it. Yeah, he is pointing it. He dropped his mag out. That's his fucking mag right there. This guy's a dipshit.
Put the gun down.
I don't know a single fucking federal officer that's gonna have their gun not holstered in a secure position to where it's just gonna fall out like this. Oh, my gun fell out. And my mag fell out. Unprofessional bullshit.
Put the gun down.
The Department of Homeland Security.
Why would you point the gun at? Why would you point the gun at him?
Brockman, WGN. I got you. Yep.
Debbie Brockman, I work for WGN. Let them know.
I got you. Yep.
So this is a
Debbie Browning.
Brockman.
Brockman, WGN.
We Brockman.
You guys want to share your names too, or I'm just gonna cover your face?
Yep, cover your face and don't say shit, even though you are arresting, let's see here, Debbie Brockman. Let's see here. Chicago TV journalist. So they're arresting journalists. Can they do that? Let's see. Can ICE arrest journalists? Yes. Huh. That's crazy. They can do that. They can do that. That's crazy. Despite legal protections, journalists, I think, let's go ahead and see what does the First Amendment protect? Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of press, the right to a peaceful assembly, and the right to petition the government. Okay. Very cool. Is burning flag freedom of speech? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes. Okay. Charge man who burned flag, Army veteran burned flag, Jan Carey, this guy, same dude here. Okay, so they can't arrest you for that. They're breaking your First Amendment right. Let's see, what does the, First Amendment, and let's go fourth. Unreasonable searches and seizure by the government, including persons, houses, papers, and effects. Apartment raid. Let's see here. Really? A week after federal agents arrested dozens of people during a military-style immigration raid, resident Cassandra Murray slowly inches down 4 flights of stairs because elevators are broken again. Okay. I don't care about it being unlivable. Let's see how it played out. Let's just see how it played out. BBC. Okay. Now, remember, the Fourth Amendment protects you from unreasonable search and seizure, right? That's why warrants exist. Get a fucking warrant. Never, ever, ever say, yeah, come on in. Get yourself a warrant.
It looks and feels like a Hollywood blockbuster. A massive raid in the dead of night. But this is real life, an immigration operation filmed for and promoted by the Trump administration.
Filmed it. They
and this is
filmed
where the raid
it
took place. It's
for
a five-story
propaganda
building on the south side of Chicago. We're going to go inside, see who we can talk to, and try to piece together the true story here.
The apartment block is located at 7500 South Shore Drive, not far from Lake Michigan. It's on the edge of a big built-up residential area. Border Patrol agents approached from the west, and SWAT teams and other federal units
this is the
arrived
first time
from
I'm
the other
seeing
direction.
this video, by the way.
By examining the video footage,
I'm
we
fully
identified
willing
the
to admit
points
I'm wrong.
agents
I
swarmed towards
honestly
before
wanna be
heading
wrong.
inside. They
That
said
means
they arrested
your rights are
37 people
getting
they
violated.
called
Just
illegal
'cause-
aliens. Tavares Ivy was woken by the...
Come on. Just because it's happening to these people doesn't mean that it's not your rights too. That's very important to understand. God damn, dude. I really don't like this camera. It doesn't light very well. Just because it's happening to these people doesn't mean that they aren't your rights too, because they are. And you should be fighting for your rights. Not literally, but I mean how you can without... Well, I mean, it just feels like we're walking on eggshells, honestly. It just feels like we're walking on eggshells and you're like, oh, you can't say that. You can't say that. Like, it's insanely frustrating, and I don't fuck with it. Personally, not going to fuck with it. But yeah, these are your rights just as much as it is theirs.
Commotion. He was on the top floor, the fifth, and said the operation appeared to be targeting specific flats.
I heard them reading off the numbers they need to go to, search the apartments and where the migrants is going to be at. So
it sounded like it was targeted to you.
Sounded like it was targeted. They knew what they came here for. They knew exactly who they were looking for.
As we head further inside the block, we see and smell the aftermath. The authorities claim this was home to members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, that's been classified a terrorist organization.
This flat looks like so many in this block. People's possessions strewn all over the place.
Just
It's
throw.
a total mess, and they're just chucking a lot of the stuff out the window. Residents have described how it was in a really bad condition beforehand, but now, just look at it.
It's even worse,
it's
yeah.
uninhabitable here.
Agents dropping down from a Black Hawk helicopter was one of the most dramatic aspects of the government video. Based on the footage, the chopper had been hovering here.
The reason they brought a chopper in is because they were filming it, and they were like, this is good content, guys. We can make money off this. I got to figure out how to make money on this. It's just too good. Like, they're perpetuating a propaganda machine, and they're expecting people to just be like, yeah. And there are people going like, yeah. And when they're met with facts, all they can do is just cope. Well, maybe it was like, well, maybe it's like this. Well, maybe it's like that. Well, no, it's not, because a fact is a fact. And you know what a fact don't give a shit about? Your feelings. And maybes. It don't give a fuck about maybes. It's a fact.
This tallies with what another resident from the fourth floor tells us.
The helicopter landed above my apartment maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. And they were just basically standing there in the dark with their flashlights and guns. So they scream out, federal agents.
Good.
Walked toward them as they instructed. They put me in a zip tie.
Okay. Right here is where it gets really fucked up. This guy is an American. Okay? He's an American. Because if he wasn't, ICE would have taken his ass out of there. He was taken, well, I guess he wasn't taken out of his house, but he said they were standing there. I don't know what he means by there. Maybe it could be a hallway. Maybe it could be somewhere else. But nevertheless, he was zip-tied and taken outside the building.
They took me downstairs.
Dwayne, a U.S. citizen who voted for Trump,
downstairs.
says he was held outside for an hour.
I wouldn't say that it's Trump's fault that this is taking place. This happened before Trump, so he's just really cleaning it up.
Dwayne says there were some unruly groups in the block who thought they could do what they wanted, at least before the raid. We meet one resident from the 3rd floor who describes what she witnessed. Thanil says there'd been a recent influx of Latin American immigrants and that tensions had increased.
I just feel like it was already bad here. The people, it was high crime, a lot of strays coming throughout the building. And then once the immigrants got here, they were residents all of a sudden, and they felt like it became territorial.
But it didn't feel like this was a headquarters for a foreign terrorist organization.
Not to me. I think they just blended in with everyone else.
Homeland Security won't tell us how many of the 37 people they arrested have been charged,
didn't seem like a
nor where
terrorist
they're being
organization.
held.
They were just blending
We
in with
asked
everybody else. So how come everybody down there that they are blending in with isn't considered a terrorist organization if they're doing the same things as them?
Called migrant charity and 3 Venezuelan undocumented workers living in Chicago, but no one said they'd heard from those detained.
The glistening advertising doesn't tell the story of what this block is really like. We've seen for ourselves. If there were lots of undocumented migrants living inside who weren't picked up, they certainly won't be coming back anytime soon.
The Chicago immigration raid that looked like a movie, and the promise from the White House is that there will be a sequel.
Yeah, I don't fuck with people getting zip-tied. I don't fuck with people getting zip-tied at all. Unless you're a bad guy. Unless you're a fucking bad guy, right? So they arrested a journalist. That's your First Amendment right violated. They were zip-tying people, children. There were children that were getting zip-tied there. And that's your Fourth Amendment right there. So that's 2 constitutional rights that have been broken by the federal government. And nobody, 2 times, nobody is going to do anything about it. You watch. Because the only time something is going to get done is when Trump is not president and Trump doesn't have his little fingers over here in the Department of Justice and his little fingers over here in Congress. There's no way Trump is going to let that slide. Because, let's just go ahead and pull up YouTube here. I don't know if you guys knew this, but you guys know Tom Homan? You guys know about this? On September 20th, 2024, Trump had been president for 9 months. Let's see here. Ooh, yikes! FBI agents, undercover FBI agents, the Department of Justice shut it down. They were investigating a deep state. And now they aren't. Now they aren't. That's awesome, isn't it? The FBI and Justice Department plan to wait to see whether Homan would deliver on his alleged promise once he became the nation's top immigrant official. but the case indefinitely stalled after soon Donald Trump became president again in January, according to 6 sources familiar with the matter. 6 of them. In recent weeks, Trump appointees officially closed the investigation after FBI Kash Patel requested a status update on the case, 2 of the people said. It is unclear what reasons FBI and Justice Department officials gave for shutting down the investigation, but a Trump Justice Department appointee called the case a deep state probe in early 2025, and no further investigative steps were taken. Ooh, treason. That's treasonous. He took a bribe. That's treasonous. You know who else is treasonous? Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz. He said the only reason he said that one of the reasons that he wanted to be in Congress was to support Israel. Okay, I'm going to see if there's videos on it. Yeah. Tucker Carlson said, put me onto this. God, I fucking hate Facebook. God, I fucking hate Facebook.
Bless Israel will be blessed. And those who, growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of it, it says the nation of Israel. So that's in the Bible. As a Christian,
Who said ICE came to her house, barged in without a visual warrant, and they destroyed her house and was rude. The officers were tired of people talking about this because it wasn't true. So the officers released the body cams. They were nothing but polite with the woman, nor did they destroy her place. She is a citizen, and it was her son they were after because he wasn't making good choices. Okay, how about testimonies from 200 people that were there? No, you can't do it. Okay. When immigration agents arrest Americans without Yeah. I mean, dude, that just sounds like a crazy lady who's like, well, this is what happened to me. That's a Karen. That's a Karen, bro. I mean, you had a run-in with a Karen. In recent high-profile cases, ICE erroneously arrested U.S. citizens, at times appearing to be use violent and physical force. This is a government website, by the way. This is a government website. ICE policy further directs agents to carefully and expeditiously investigate citizenship claims, to, quote, handle these matters with the utmost care and highest priority. However, in multiple cases, ICE agents have reportedly not attempted to verify citizenship or ignored citizens' offers to show proof of citizenship. Case in point.
Brockman, WGN.
This lady's an illegal immigrant, guys.
Too, or you're just going to cover your face?
DH include arrest and
anyone who actively obstructs law enforcement in the performance of their sworn duties, including U.S. citizens, will of course face consequences, which include arrests. ICE's official policy says it cannot arrest U.S. citizens. as its authority is limited to enforcing civil immigration laws. So that means they are limited to enforcing this. However, there has been confirmed cases where ICE erroneously, yeah, I already read this. So, yikes, they're breaking the law. Who would have guessed? It's what the government does.
Criminal justice or cop. I don't even know what the question. I don't know.
Is the kind of key principles and pillars that we've always.
I want to watch this video. I want to watch this video and see what propaganda is. See what kind of propaganda this is specifically. Yeah, I saw this too. Christy Gnome. Christy? I don't know how to fucking spell her name apparently. Secretary Gnome. I want to see this. God. She looks real insanely easy to draw. October 7th. October 7th. Did they delete it? Will not allow domestic terrorists to overrun our cities. We will bust their networks. Show me somebody committing a terroristic act.
And that's what I keep reminding
here, please.
Got not just rioters and people that embrace violence to push back on what we're doing in this country. These are Antifa. We have terrorist organizations, and that's what I keep reminding people is we're not just dealing with criminals. We've got networks of cartel members and terrorists that are infiltrating these cities. And every day that we don't bring them to justice, they're recruiting new members.
Dude, look how violent
more people to their ranks, and that is why every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I do agree, yeah, but have the police department do that. Have the police department do that.
DHS and our officers are working to get them off the street so that we can stop them in their tracks. We've got not
cited or referred to as, you know, the key principles that make us a free society that differentiate us from authoritarian.
And if the police aren't going to agree to do it, hire a paramilitary group to do it, or have the military do it, right? Because the military is, I mean, they're in Chicago, right? ICE can't do that, and that's what I have a problem with.
States fourth and
I don't want to listen to you. I just want to see some videos.
Cameras.
Oh my God.
With George Floyd, like it was all recorded, and they still killed him.
Access to share these videos with the world is an extremely powerful tool. It's really sort of unprecedented in the history, really, of government, right? The fact that
I saw
this
this.
stuff
He's
can be
throwing
shared
fucking
instantly.
smoke grenades out his window.
I mean, if you look at polling, you know, the public approval of how Trump is handling immigration, of the amount of force that ICE is using to arrest and detain people. The public's turning against that, and I think these videos are a big.
I heard there's an Antifa house there, and other entities are supporting them. Antifa is bad. You know who else is supporting Antifa? Just kidding. Wait, I didn't know. I didn't mean Antifa. I meant Hamas. It was Qatar. Yeah, get them out. That's a terrorist organization. That's a terrorist organization. You've got a fucking bunch of bad apples saying that they're a... That's like me being like anti-Nazi, and then I have a terrorist cell called anti-Nazi. You know what I mean? So like while the initial movement isn't bad, the message behind it isn't bad, you've got a lot of bad actors seeping their way in there and throwing the baby out with, and people are throwing the baby out with the bathwater, which is no bueno. For my non-Spanish speakers out there, that means not good. Yeah, Antifa is bad, and the terrorist organization called Antifa is bad.
The reason why.
And I think there are too many undocumented
that
cases.
sucks.
This is
I think that this is equally just as bad.
Have supported the idea
shooting
that
a priest
Donald Trump thinks that there are too
with
many
non-lethal
undocumented
in the head, even though
immigrants in the United
you're explicitly told not to. Here's the video.
This kind of
Dude, this is crazy. This legit does like feel like a movie, but there are real people being affected by that.
Yeah, and I think
that is crazy, dude. Imagine they did that for like the Iraq War. They just put body cams on people. Yeah, what I think they're doing is stoking a fire. I think that they are stoking a fire. Because they want to do this. Because they want to do this. They want to invoke the Insurrection Act so you can criminally pursue states that don't support you. And they are also, don't know if you knew this, I saw it somewhere. Yeah. We'll get to that. I'll do a massive segue.
Let me ask you, of course, there's a major legal battle underway about the administration's deployment of the National Guard. It does come, as NBC News is reporting, that the administration has been seriously discussing invoking the Insurrection Act. That would give the president the power to direct federal troops to conduct law enforcement functions in the case of a national emergency. Is that the case? Are you seriously considering invoking the Insurrection Act?
Well, the president's looking at all of his options. Right now, he hasn't felt he needed to, but we have to remember, why are we talking about this, Kristen? Because crime has gotten out of control in our cities, because our ICE agents, the people who are enforcing our immigration laws, have faced a 1,000% increase in violent attacks against them. We have people right now.
Why do you think that is? Are they invoking the attack?
Who are going out there, who are doing the job the president
I see a lot
asked
of
them to
videos
do,
of people
who are
invoking the
enforcing our
attacks.
immigration laws. They're
Every
being
day,
assaulted,
there's a new
they're
one.
being beaten, they're being shot at. The problem here is not the Insurrection Act or whether we actually invoke it or not. The problem is the fact that
we are trying.
Because crime has gotten out.
Would give the president the power to direct federal troops to conduct law enforcement functions in the case of a national emergency. Is that the case? Are you seriously considering invoking?
Okay. This is the question. Are you seriously considering invoking the Insurrection Act?
The Insurrection Act?
Yes or no?
Well, the president's looking at all of his options. Right now, he hasn't felt he needed to, but we have to remember, why are we talking about this, Kristen?
Waiting for a yes or no.
Because crime has gotten out of control in our cities, because our ICE agents, the people who are enforcing our immigration laws, have faced a 1,000% increase in violent attacks against them.
Still
we
waiting
have people
for a yes
right
or
now who are going out there, who are doing the job the president asked them to do, who are enforcing our immigration laws. They're being assaulted, they're being beaten, they're being shot at. The problem here is not the Insurrection Act or whether we actually invoke it or not. The problem is the fact that the entire media in this country, cheered on by a few far-left lunatics, have made it okay to tee off on American law enforcement. We cannot accept that in the United States of America. We want everybody, black or white, rich or poor, to be safe in the United States of America. But to do that, we have to empower our law enforcement agents to keep us safe. That's what we're talking about doing.
Couple of points here. First of all,
Kristen.
an Illinois judge said that state and local authorities have been able to handle protest activity that ICE, that other federal agencies have been able to continue.
I need to hear this again. Sorry.
First of all, an Illinois judge said that state and local authorities have been able to handle protest activity that ICE, that other federal agencies have been able to continue to do their work. Crime is down in both Chicago and Portland, but is there a rebellion here? That's what would trigger an Insurrection Act. Is it imminent?
Kristen, crime is down in Chicago and Portland often because they're so overwhelmed at the local level, they're not even keeping the statistics properly. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had an ICE officer.
The police in these blue cities are doing such a bad job that the numbers are wrong. The numbers are wrong. Okay, buddy, the facts don't lie. Arkansas. Let's see. Arkansas murder rate. Let's see. 11 in every 100,000 people, and that went up. Okay. Let's see crime statistics. Arkansas has a higher than average violent crime and property crime rates than other states. Weird. I wonder why there are no ICE agents in Arkansas. Let's see here. I wonder why. Oh, okay. Let's see. Texas. It's 12th for violent crime and 14th. So, not good. Not good. The state ranks 14th, 18% higher than national average. Okay, 13% higher in violent crime than the national average. I wonder why they aren't going to Texas. Huh. So the state's violent crime rate is below the national average, while the property crime is significantly higher. Okay. Recent data shows that violent crime has decreased or plateaued in the past couple years, while property crime has trended down, though it remains significant. So it's dropping. Okay. So this is a violent. So this, Oregon, commits less murders than, almost half as much murders than Arkansas per 100,000 people. 326 per, 620 per. Is that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence? I feel like it isn't a coincidence that they're only going to cities that are really against Trump. Really against Trump. He lost majorly in those cities in 2024. Majorly. And now and in 2020, I mean, it was perfect. I mean, it was a perfect setup. 2020, you don't really know anything about Antifa, and then they come out and they are burning Minneapolis down to the ground. It doesn't look like a war zone. It looks like the LA riots. Okay, and the Insurrection Act was used during the LA riots. And then, you have this image that's in everybody's head because everybody remembers that from 2020. The people who are voting remember that, and now you have a villain that you can fucking go up against and call them a terrorist organization because that's what that is. And then you just say, hey, let's just try to take over this. Let's take over this fucking city because I can. Just because I can. And anytime we're asked about it, do not answer directly.
Is it imminent?
Yes or no? Is it imminent?
Kristen, crime is down in Chicago and Portland often because they're so overwhelmed at the local level, they're not even keeping the statistics properly. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had an ICE office get shot at by a far-left assassin who was trying to kill our law enforcement.
Okay, let's see here. How many law enforcement officers died died in the ICE shooting. During the September 2025 shooting, there were no law enforcers officers killed. Gunman died by suicide. One detainee was killed, a detainee, and 2 others were critically injured. So he was shooting at people who were being detained. He didn't shoot any ICE officers. And then, like, minutes after, they take pictures of the bullets and they post them on the internet. Like, not minutes, hours after, right? They post it online. Nothing to see here. It's just a far left weirdo that was trying to take out ICE agents, even though he didn't hit any or nothing like that. He was only shooting at the fucking detainees.
Officers. He fortunately didn't kill law enforcement officers. He did kill some other innocent people in the process. We cannot allow the far left in this country to tee off on our law enforcement officers. We've got to do something about it, and that's all the president's talking about. I mean, there are places in Chicago, Kristen, where people are afraid to take their children. They're afraid to go out of their houses for fear of gun violence, for fear of gang drive-by shootings. That's not okay in the United States of America. The president just wants people to be kept safe, and we're exploring everything that we can do to make sure that the American people are safe in their own country.
Yeah, and they should be. They should be. However, I do think that goes with the federal government as well. I should be able not to worry about my apartment getting broken into and me getting zip-tied and my daughter getting zip-tied. Right? This is what I think is going to happen. They, as in the Trump administration, the Trump regime, are going to take away a lot of your freedoms. They're going to take away a lot of your freedoms, and I feel like he's not going to let go of power. But, I mean, time will tell. Senators warn Trump administration is developing a secret watch list. One called National Security Presidential Memorandum 7, a quote, a greater infringement on freedoms than the Patriot Act. And if you don't know what the Patriot Act is, it's legal spying. You can get spied on by your government. Patriot Act. And they called it the Patriot Act because if you didn't vote for it, you're not a patriot. The Patriot Act was passed in 2001 that expanded the surveillance and investigation powers of law enforcement to combat terrorism. Rah! Gotta get these terrorists. Pattern after pattern after pattern after pattern. We're getting invaded. Technically, I mean, dude, we had millions of people come across this border. Don't get me wrong. But it's an excuse to rile you up and get you on the street because you see people getting shot at that don't deserve to be shot at. You know, you can't fucking do it. The Trump administration is drawing up, quote, secret lists of terrorist groups inside the United States, unquote. Senator Alyssa Slotkin said on the floor of Congress yesterday, the first such reference of the effects of National Security Presidential Referendum 7, or NSPM 7. The directive, as I've reported, lays out Donald Trump's policies regarding to equating, quote, anti-Christian and, quote, anti-capitalist sentiments with domestic terrorism. So if you say anti-Christian stuff or you say anti-capitalist things, you are a domestic terrorist. They're equating that to domestic terrorism. As a result of the directive, the FBI's domestic terrorism watch list is expected to double in the coming months. So if I get put on a terrorist watch list, okay? If I get put on a terrorist watch list, because I'm saying things that I disagree with the administration and the blatant overreach in power and not following laws, such as the $50,000 Tom Homan took and he didn't get anything for it. If I took a bribe, I'd be in prison. If I took a 50 grand bribe, I'd be in fucking prison. But Tom Homan does it and it gets thrown out because he's on their side. He's a good guy. Right. And good guys don't do crime, right? But I'll take a $50,000 bribe. For sure. I'll take anything I can get. It's a fucking joke. The senator from Michigan would know. She's a former CIA analyst and Assistant Secretary of Defense and now serves on the Senate Armed Services and Homeland Security Committees. She defends the national security state. She defends the national security state as, quote, good corn-fed people who just want to help their country, end quote. And has said, quote, I'm as hawkish as anyone, end quote, on Iran. In other words, Slotkin is no hater when it comes to the national security system, which makes her warning especially chilling. Slotkin in her Senate speech warned that NSPM 7 learned that. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna restart because I'm not making any sense right now. Slotkin, in her Senate speech, warned that with NSPM 7, the Trump administration had directed law enforcement agencies to, quote, make secret lists of terrorist groups inside the United States and send the full force of the U.S. government against those terrorist organizations. End quote. Quote, they are not telling anyone about this, but asking that the law enforcement community come up with that list, she added. Consistent with her remarks, NSPM 7 says, quote, the Attorney General shall submit a list of any such domestic terrorist groups to the White House. And I've already talked about the flock cameras and their surveillance. Let's just see. Flock camera map. Ooh. Okay. These are... That's not accurate. Alright, yeah, let's take a look here. Introducing Flock's national and statewide law enforcement search network. According to multiple news outlets, late one Friday night / early Saturday morning, just after midnight, a Lamar County, Georgia sheriff's deputy received a call about a domestic disturbance. He pulled up to the house, and as he exited his patrol car, he was greeted with, quote, numerous shotgun blasts. And then it tracked him. Okay. Good. Good. You got it. You got it. Great. Awesome. Okay, so there's been a lot of lawsuits against them because they give not so good information, right? And that's coming out of your tax dollars, and these cameras are also being paid by your tax dollars. So not only are you paying for the cameras, you're paying for when they fuck up. Which is super cool and awesome. And now they're doing this, right? They can see where you go, they know what stores you go to, they know pretty much everything about you. They know anything, like Target has it, and they have an AI that tracks your spending habits, what you buy, when you buy it, and it tracks you from the parking lot into the building. You can look this up. It's all real. And they get all that personal information on you. So now they're going to get all this personal information on you, and then whenever they see fit, they will either A, deem you a terrorist, or B, not deem you a terrorist. She also described the Trump administration's secret list of designated foreign terrorist groups in its war on cartels, saying, quote, if this administration is not telling us who's on their secret designated terrorist list for groups in the Caribbean, they're definitely not going to tell us who's on their list of domestic terrorist organizations. So if I'm labeled as a domestic terrorist, I won't know. You won't know. Nobody will know. They will, but I won't. Slotkin also revealed that the Trump administration had refused to provide its list of cartel terrorist groups to Congress, including even the Republican leadership. According to her, the list of numbers is in the, quote, dozens. This suggests that the administration's quite comfortable with such lists and is employing them against more than just the high-profile groups like Tren de Aragua. In a response to a request for comment on this article, Slotkin's office directed me to another point she'd raised in a confirmation hearing this week for Trump's nominee for general counsel of the Army, Charles Young. During the hearing, Slotkin asked if a list of domestic terrorist organizations would authorize the military to take action within the United States, a possible way that the administration could get around the posse comitatus restrictions on the use of force of the active military to law enforcement. During the hearing, she said, if a list would authorize them to take... Okay, not to my knowledge. I've been critical of Congress's silence on NSP M7, so I am threatened by the seriousness of Slotkin's questions. Yeah, they're going to spy on you even more. And if you have anti-Christian or... According to Slotkin, I'm not saying this is a fact. I'm saying, according to this lady, this is what's happening. Anti-Christian and anti-capitalist sentiments with domestic terror, they're going to equate it to that, which is so cool and fun. Speaking of the feds fucking up, Trump claimed that Biden's FBI placed January 6th crowd. I know there were feds there, bro. I fucking know there were feds there. And they were doing what they're fucking doing now. They're doing what they're doing now. And they're fucking poking and just poking. Trying to get you riled up to do something, right? Which is what inevitably happened. Donald Trump falsely claimed that the, quote, Biden FBI placed agents in the crowd on January 6th in 2021. In a Truth Social post just after midnight on Sunday, adding a new layer to previously unfounded claims about the crime agency's role on the day rioters stormed the Capitol. Previously unfounded claims. Quote, the Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. If this is so, which it is, a lot of very good people will be owed big apologies. What a scam. Do something. So, if all of the January 6ers were arrested and he pardoned all of them, wouldn't that include 274 agents? And their apology was getting pardoned? Wouldn't you say that was doing something? Trump was the president on January 6, 2020, not Joe Biden, who took oath of office 2 weeks later. Last month, Trump said that the FBI, quote, secretly placed 274 agents in the crowd ahead of the riot. FBI Director Kash Patel later clarified that, quote, agents were sent into a crowd control mission after the riot was declared by Metro Police, end quote. The White House did not comment on the veracity of Trump's post when contacted by Newsweek, but Deputy Press Secretary Abigail Jackson said, quote, for too long the FBI has been deeply politicized organization, and it's not now. By the way, it is not. And the FBI files will, or the Epstein files will get released. I promise you, it will get released. This isn't. We're not run by the Republicans right now. Fucking joke, dude. For too long, the FBI has been a deeply politicized organization that has strayed from its core mission of keeping America safe. Under President Trump and Kash Patel's bold leadership, the administration is returning the agency to its intended mission by rooting out the hyper-politicized elements and restoring integrity. Very fun. Very cool. Very fun and cool. Let's see here. This lady won. She won a special election. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my word. I don't know how to spell her fucking name. There we go. This lady, she won an election. Okay? She was supposed to get sworn in. She was supposed to get sworn in a long time ago. 19 days ago. 19 days ago, she was supposed to get sworn in and still hasn't been sworn in. Okay? She is the final vote to release the Epstein files. And this man is refusing. This man is refusing to swear her in. Democrats are ramping up the pressure on House Speaker Mike Johnson to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva, an Arizona Democrat who won a special election last month to succeed her late father. The delay has reached mounting attention this week, with Johnson challenged by lawmakers, reporters, and even C-SPAN viewers about why Grijalva hasn't been given the oath of office. Johnson has said repeatedly that she will be sworn in when the House returns to session. He blames government shutdown for the delay. Huh. Wasn't she elected 19 days ago? Wasn't she elected 19 days ago? Ooh! 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 Damn! Oh no! This is why the government shut down, in my opinion. This is why the government shut down. Here, more specifically, this is why the government shut down. Right here. And let's see. Boom. And this is why the government shut down. And but I mean mostly this. Mostly this is why the government shut down. You know how they met? How did Trump and his wife meet? How did Trump and his wife meet? Meet Melania. See what AI has to say. Donald Trump met her at a New York Fashion Week party in '98 while he was on a date with another woman. Okay. When did she become a citizen? When did Melania... Oh. Fuck, dude. Okay, January 22nd. Melania. When did Melania get citizenship? Okay. She had an extraordinary ability. What was her extraordinary ability? Why did Melania get an EB1 visa? Let's see here. Mrs. Trump began applying for the visa in 2000 when she was Melania Nas, a Slovenian model, New York, and dating Trump. She was approved in 2001. One of just 5 people from Slovenia to win the coveted visa that year. So she was dating Trump when she got that visa. Okay, weird. The reports of how she obtained it will rankle some, or with some at a time when her husband is railing against immigrants. Oh, so yeah, she was a fucking immigrant. And she got an EB1 visa. Extraordinary ability. An immigrant has to provide evidence of a major award or meet 3 of 10 criteria proving excellence in their field. The criteria include coverage of the applicant in major publications, original and significant contributions to a field, and work display at artistic exhibitions. So technically, yeah, yeah. The government guidance for application cites Nobel Prizes and international acclaim, but the reality is often more prosaic, said Susan McFadden, a specialist U.S. visa lawyer at the Goodon and McFadden law firm in London. You do not have to be a Nobel Prize winner to get the extraordinary ability visa. I've gotten EB1 visas for people you've never heard of and never will, she said. Okay. And she did. She did all this. She did appear in major publications, significant contributions to a field. She was a model and made a lot of money and probably propped up a lot of brands and displayed work at artistic exhibitions. She is technically an artistic exhibition she's the medium for clothes or whatever. Okay. Anyway, this is why the government's shut down. Let's see. I think Adelita Grijalva should get sworn in immediately. He had the chance to. He had the chance to for a very long time. Let's see. So it's been 12 days since the government shut down. So he had a full week. To do something about it. And he was like, no, we'll just do it. We'll swear her in when everybody gets back. We'll just swear her in when the government's not shut down. Huh. Why? Why? What's the FBI doing right now? Just going through with black markers and fuck. Yeah, you just keep coming up with excuses. Gallagher said to Johnson. The speaker called it a publicity stunt. The Democrats have also taken the floor during pro forma sessions to try to have Grijalva sworn in. The presiding officer has ignored them every time. Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva should be sworn in now. It should have happened this week. Should have happened last week. It needs to happen next week. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries told reporters Thursday. Yeah, she's the 218th vote. So Johnson rejected the accusation during his appearance on C-SPAN. This has zero to do with Epstein. Not 0%. This is zero. Everything. Grijalva said she tries not to be a, quote, conspiracy theorist and initially disagreed with supporters and allies who warned her that she she wouldn't be seated in Congress because of the Epstein bill. I thought, no way he's going to swear me in. I thought, no way. He's going to swear me in. It'll be fine, she said. Here we are, 2 weeks later. That's crazy and odd. That's really weird. You know what else is really weird? Ooh, this guy. This guy's making a lot of money. Trump cards. Yeah, I forgot about these. The Trump trading cards. Yeah, that's right. And he cut up the victory suit. And he put pieces of it in there. It's fucking crazy, isn't it? To get into this room, the guests have had to invest real money. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. I remember this. I remember reading about this a few weeks ago. They crane their necks to get a glimpse of the helicopter as it descends on the lawns of Donald Trump's Virginia golf club. Black tie, a gala, a chance to dine with the President of the United States. This invite is one money can buy, a kind of money at least. To get into this room, the guests had to invest real money into the official Trump cryptocurrency. Collectively, they hold about $150 million, or US dollars, so $229 million worth of the coin. The group watches as he exits the helicopter and cheers and enters the room. Trump's wealth and that of his family is skyrocketing. Trump says that he has stepped back from his business ventures since taking office, and his interests are now held in trust by his sons. But critics say he's operating like no president before, mixing business and politics in a way that may violate the U.S. Constitution and threaten the very foundations of American democracy. His links to a plethora of business activities and cryptocurrency ventures have opened him up to accusations of conflict of interest and profiting. I can't speak. Profiting. I said it right. He can do whatever he wants. Okay. Let's, I got a video. To show you. I got a really good video to show you, actually. Okay. This happened a few days ago. This happened this week.
Welcome to an $190 million insider trading analysis. Someone made $190 million while the crypto markets were crashing yesterday in light of tariffs that seem to have been preempted by a very specific trader. We're going to get into it. I want to be clear that I'm not accusing anyone of a crime here. Insider trading specifically relates to securities. We've been pretty clear that crypto, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum, are not securities. So I don't even know what this is. I think this is all legal. Kind of. I don't think it should be, as you'll see. Yeah. But the question is, what did this guy know? Okay, how did somebody make $190 million while everyone else was losing their shirts yesterday? If you don't know, there was one of the biggest crashes we've ever seen in crypto. And someone came in 24 hours before and started placing shorts against the market. Short is just when you bet that the underlying asset is going to go down in price and you will make money on that. Now, this all started October 9th. At 16:39 GMT time, they start accumulating this Bitcoin short. They initially put, and this is not chump change, guys. This isn't under your couch, pennies. This is,
we're talking
$80 million that initially gets deposited, and they start placing shorts.
That was their first. That was the first amount of money that was put into this account. $80 million
against Bitcoin. Okay, that's fine. Now, the amount is unusual, but that itself is not the unusual part. Then we have Ethereum starts to get shorted at 3:49 GMT. Interesting. $30 million gets deposited into this account. Immediately start placing major bets that the market is going to go down. Why is this significant? Well, because at 14:57, this is only a few hours later, like 12 hours later, Trump posts on Truth Social that they are calculating a massive increase on Chinese tariffs. This is due to a rare earth mineral dispute. But the point is, nobody knew this was coming. except, of course, maybe this guy, because he's already got these multi-million-dollar shorts. Now, where I think this goes from suspicious to downright diabolical is the fact
that could be like anything. Like, realistically, devil's advocate, like, you just had insane luck and you're insanely rich, and then you just got a lot richer, right?
That at this point,
however,
the market dips a little bit because you have these threats of tariffs. But the person does not start closing out their shorts yet, which I think is very interesting. If you place this huge short bet and then the president tweets something like this, you would think you would close out your order. But not only do they not do that, not only do they not close out their short, they continue to place.
They do it even more.
Short bets against Bitcoin. In fact, this person continues to short Bitcoin all the way up till 2049-23 GMT. Why is that significant, ladies and gentlemen? It's because 2049 is the last short he places, okay? 2050 GMT. A minute later, 1 minute later, Trump announces they're considering an 100% tariff on China, which of course tanks the market. And this person makes literally $190 million in 24 hours. Meaning the guy was placing shorts up to 1 minute before Trump announces this big, huge 100% tariffs. And then, by the way, immediately, as if he knew something, we start seeing the shorts close only 30 minutes later. So both the ETH and Bitcoin short closed 30 minutes later. By the way, these accounts were funded by the same people. This is the same person making these trades. So to recap, this person not only times the same day that a big announcement was made, he makes these $110 million short against crypto. He then also conveniently waits past the initial tweet about tariffs until the most significant announcement, which is the 100% tariffs, and he's shorting it up till 1 minute before that. Guys, this is some of the most blatant crime is legal moments we've seen. $190 million. And the question is anything going to be done? No, actually, I can already answer that for you. Probably not. But
yeah,
I think
nothing is going to be done. This was 2 days ago.
What we're seeing here is just the rise of insider trading across the board. I think it's disgusting. I think it ruins capital markets, and it's bad. But I don't really know what to do about it because it just seems like everywhere we're seeing the insider trading. I don't know if some of you remember there was a time where, Trump was going to post on his Truth Social that it's a good time to buy crypto, and people were buying SPY calls immediately before it. But this is, just completely blatant stuff, just given the perfect timing of it all and the size of the bets that were made under such kind of sniper precision. At least that's what it looks like to me. But I also wanted to say this isn't the only place where this is happening. This YouTuber Cheddar Flow has a tool where they analyze options, and they pointed out that recently there's been a big AMD announcement where they partnered with OpenAI. OpenAI is going to, receive some of their stock, and conveniently people were making bets on that as well immediately before it.
The most insane insider trade of the entire year just happened. An AMD whale bought 6 million plus of out-the-money calls, which is super unusual. Cheddar Flow actually posted on X right as that occurred. And then only 2 trading days later, we had news that OpenAI took a 10% stake in AMD. And those calls that these whales loaded only 2 trading days before were already up 300%.
So, yeah, I just wanted to point out that it's not just crypto where this is happening. Seems like across the board. By the way, I love the title of this. It says this has to be illegal, except I don't think anything's going to happen about it. And that seems to be the rough vibe in the industry recently. It's that, hey, man, it might not be technically kosher, but if you can get away with it, you're probably fine. And it seems like most people are getting away with it in this market. Even the Nobel Peace Prize isn't safe from people front running. This is the poly market of it. And as you can see, this is where it finally got announced, the winner. But before that, traders were already basically pricing in the fact that somebody knew ahead of time that the person who won was going to win hours before. And they made a bunch of money doing that. So there's insider trading and opportunity to insider trade across the board for people who have that sweet, sweet insider knowledge. And it doesn't seem like a lot's being done about it. In fact, specifically, the smartest thing to do is just know what Donald Trump's going to post on Truth Social ahead of time. Since so much of our market is now just moving based on tariff threats. That's
pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. I think I've got a couple more videos I can show you. So this guy, he doesn't really miss. Give me 1 second. Yeah, close out of that. And here we go. There's that. Come on, dude. Oh, boy. There we go. Awesome. Okay. He doesn't really make political videos. I'll show you if you don't know who this is.
I was an extra in the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1.
Okay, right. He doesn't make political videos. He makes drama videos and like reviews. Like, was this good? Was this good? I'm not being sued anymore. Drama and shit, right? Sometimes there's political videos thrown in there, but I'm talking like, bro, hold up. Like, there really isn't very much political shit at all, right? Recently, there's an uptick in it. In the stuff. So this one is he's blasting Netanyahu for being doing censorship. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch this. I haven't seen it yet. We're here for.
I remember growing up thinking that brainwashing and mind control was just something you see in comic books and cartoons. But now I know it's a very real thing that you can see happening daily in this country. Now, the big thing I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about a lot here. There's going to be a bunch of blabber in here and drool coming out of my mouth as I'm spitting because I'm about to be getting pretty passionate. And the big focus is on the huge crypto collapse from yesterday. And the very suspicious, very lucky trader who was able to cash out $190 million off of it because they were shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum a day before and all the way up until a minute before Trump's Truth Social post announcing the massive tariffs on China, which crashed the entire market. And then 30 minutes later, they cash out $190 million. It seems like they might have known something, but that can't be, right? That would be corruption. And this administration doesn't engage in that kind of nefarious activity, except for all the previous times that this exact same thing has happened with Trump announcing things on Truth Social that people close to him that suckle his fucking teats must have had insider knowledge on because they're able to cash out millions upon millions of dollars because of his rinse and repeat cycle of threatening tariffs, backing off tariffs, postponing tariffs, just fluctuating the market up and down. Yet people in his inner circle must be privy to this knowledge because they are making absolute bullseye trades based on that before it becomes public. So this isn't really anything new. It's just the most egregious.
And it was a problem when Nancy Pelosi did it, right?
Instance, because you can literally see it. This account opens and starts shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum a day before this announcement, and then a minute before the Truth Social post goes live. Like, it's unbelievable. And if you are a MAGA cultist, it actually is unbelievable. They refuse to believe it. They refuse to accept the very real reality that they are getting fucking hosed.
Unfortunately.
Trump and Trump's family's net worth has exploded since becoming president. How do you defend that? Well, I'll tell you how. Because they say Trump is such a benevolent saint, he actually doesn't even keep his salary from being president. Wow, that's how much he cares about the American people. You fucking delusional homunculus. The presidential salary is actual peanuts. It's literal fucking used condoms in the grand scheme of how much money him and his family are making.
Yeah, let's see. What's the presidential... presidential salary. $400,000 a year. Dude, he's making millions of dollars a year. That's fucking crazy. Earth. Before and after presidency. Give me a graph. Clinton made a lot of fucking money. Clinton made a lot of fucking money. Dude, there's no way. He lost $1 billion. How much is he worth right now? So as of what? When did his first presidency end? 2020. So as of 2020, he was worth what? 2 billion. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. He made $3 to $5 billion. Yeah, he gained $3 billion. His companies did, and even though he's not, in charge of that company, his company is still making money. And you think when he's not president of the United States anymore, he's just going to go back and be like, yeah, I don't want my companies
Throughout his presidency.
No. A little slow.
Condoms in the grand scheme of how much money him and his family are making throughout his presidency. When he was being fucking sworn in, he was still launching up to 168 new products. And that doesn't even include things like his cologne that he launched, the fucking Trump Gooch Galore smell, the Trump watches, the Trump phone and shit like that. So that has only increased the amount of things that he is hawking to the American people to buy, solely to enrich himself and his family, his fucking meme coin and all of that. His family is going ballistic in terms of how much money they are making off of his...
A new Forbes report revealed that the Trump family has profited enormously from the presidency, doubling its fortune to a total of about $10 billion. $10 billion! Billion dollars. For Donald Trump, the year of his White House comeback has also been, quote, the most lucrative year of his life, end quote. With the president raking in $3 billion, 2/3 of which came from cryptocurrency, including his meme coin, and World Liberty Financial, a crypto company started by his family that Steve Witkoff, his Middle East envoy, and that of Steve Witkoff, his Middle East envoy. World Liberty, notably at the center of a scandal, as the New York Times revealed last week. In May, the firm secured a $2 billion investment from an Emirati royal who just happens to control a company that, per a deal with the United Arab Emirates, that was announced 2 weeks later. So he just happened to... That's crazy. In May, the firm secured a $2 billion investment from an Emirati royal who just happens to control a company that per a deal with the United Arab Emirates was announced 2 weeks later, and which Witkoff helped to negotiate, will receive precious AI computer chips from the government. So, that's clear insider trading.
Presidency. They're not even hiding it. They are just constantly making money off of you. As you suffer and get less and less money, they get more and more. They are taking the pizza and not even leaving you bits and pieces, morsels of the crust. It's sad, and yet people love it. They will accept it with a fucking smile on their face and say, please, give me some more. I've got more holes for you to fill. Please, come in here. I'm waiting. It's just absurd. They don't even stick to a single belief anymore. Like the Epstein files, I know I have made.
Recently, he's like, dude, I'm worth so much fucking money. He's like, I need you guys to stop donating to me. Like, don't give me another fucking penny. Because I have enough money and I'm good, right? I don't need any more. I'm living comfortably, and I think it's working. I have a lot of respect for this guy. I mean, he's a goofball, but he's a genuinely like morally. Yeah, like I don't know. I just agree with him on a lot of things he says.
Oh, please come in here. I'm waiting. It's just absurd. They don't even stick to a single belief anymore. Like the Epstein files, I know I have made a lot of content on in the past, so I'm not going to regurgitate that. But the Epstein files are a really good example of how they really cared about the Epstein files, and they were really upset at the failure of Joe Biden to release them in that administration. So they were hyping up Trump about all of his promises to release those Epstein files, which he has still not done and still actively just like discounts, and the entire administration denying the existence of now. And this same group of people that was so excited for Trump to follow through on that promise is now like, oh, he didn't break any promises. In fact, it's just not even important. That's why he's not doing it. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, who cares about the Epstein files? We have so many bigger...
I literally have heard people make that argument. Like, dude, move on. Like, I've heard people make that fucking argument. And I'm like, dude, no!
Things to worry about. Like, what the next product we're going to have to buy from Trump is. Like, they're just now saying, it doesn't matter. We don't care. We actually don't want this information. Yeah. Actually, I believe because everything Trump they're saying now. Yeah, it definitely doesn't exist. Yeah, actually, Maxwell's probably innocent, too. But, again, I've already talked about that a lot. Let's talk about some other stuff. The COVID vaccine. Trump just got a COVID booster. Not a conspiracy. Just out in the open, signed, documented, stamped. It is legitimate. Trump just got a COVID booster. And this administration has constantly played into the MAGA fear of the jab. That was one of the big things with MAGA, is like how this is, contaminating us, poisoning us. They're trying to kill us with the jab.
I remember.
And now Trump just got the
vaccine. It's the mark of the beast. It's the mark of the beast. They're putting microchips in you. Yeah, I remember that.
Vaccine booster, and those same people like Gunther Dickelman are now applauding him for it, sucking a fucking fart out of his butt for it, giving him a full rim job like, yes, the president's healthy, this is great news. Meanwhile, only a few months ago, a big talking point from him and so many others is the COVID vaccine and the evil of it. But now that Trump got the vaccine booster, well, now they love it. Well, now it's great. Actually, yeah. Trump probably got the vaccine booster because he's going to immediately give all of us herd immunity. He is using himself as a selfless sacrifice with the jab, so that way his aura of being immune to COVID will help infiltrate all of us via osmosis. So now we're all immune to COVID thanks to Trump getting the COVID vaccine booster. Or some crazy shit, maybe. That one I'm just spitballing, but I'm trying to find ways to mental gymnastics around it. But the sad reality is they're not even going to bother trying. They're just going to be like Gunther here and just be like the good little NPC drum that's like, anything Trump does is great. Can't wait to swallow more Trump meat. Even though it goes completely against all of the things he was talking about. Like, so many people that were talking about the jab and how evil it is and all of that are now celebrating that Trump got it. Yeah. It's just so obvious. It's so blatant. Like fucking cat turd. I don't think I've seen anything from him on Trump getting the jab here. Just radio silence, just crickets. It's just ignore things that make you have to think. That is the cult mentality of MAGA. Anything Trump does is perfect.
I wonder. Huh. I wonder what happened here. 23 to 27 is a $4 raise. What did he make that? When did he get the jab?
Anything that makes me think that maybe there's something else there, I shut out. I plug my ears to. It is fucking horrifying. Trump is now building a Qatari Air Force base in...
I'm going to go back 5 years. Damn, bro. What happened here? Was this AIDS? When did the AIDS thing happen? Was that the 80s or the 90s? I wonder what happened here. And people got better and better. Obamacare around here. Went from 18 to 20. So they didn't really move during Obama's presidency. And from 12, yeah, they went up really, really high during Obama's. Actually, they did go really high. They went from fucking 12 to 28. And then they went from 28 to 38, so $10. And then during Biden's, 49 at its peak. That's crazy, dude. I like doing that, watching the stock market for certain, like looking over the course of its lifetime, like watching the stock market react to the world.
Idaho. Trump has accepted a huge $400 million Wumbo Turbo Superstar jet from Qatar. It's a crazy gift. That's one hell of a donation there. I don't want to toss the B word around too lightly here, the bribe nomenclature, but I mean, definitely smells a little fishy over here with that, especially in regards to what came soon after. He then signed a $5.5 billion deal with Qatar for a Trump golf course. Yippee, that's great for the American people. More Trump wealth that he accumulates here through this deal. And now he is putting a Qatar Air Force base on our homeland soil. America first, right? Yeah, that's really America first thinking right there. Yeah, and then I've already seen the cope about how actually no, this is a joint training procedure. This is something that we do all the time, actually. And I saw JD, My Chemical Romance Vance talking today about like how it's actually just all fake news and stuff. Even though they have literally verbatim point blank said exactly what this deal is, and he is just denying that. So not even the administration is in agreement on their talking points right now. It's a fucking mess. And still, people are so brainwashed and mind controlled that they'll just accept it and be like, this is great. This is America first, actually, to put this Qatar Air Force base in Idaho. That's actually exactly what I wanted. And then Trump always finds a way to surprise me with some crazy schizo posting late at night. So his most recent one is the Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. If this is so, which it is, a lot of very good people will be owed big apologies. What a scam. Do something, President DJT. There is so much wrong with that. I think he forgot to take his suppositories because holy shit, Trump was president on January 6th. Yeah. Biden did not control the FBI. But you know what? Let's play ball here and dive into a fucking fever dream, a fantasy. Let's say Joseph Biden set down his ice cream, cracked his knuckles, and assumed direct control of the FBI on January 6th and placed all of these agents in here just as Trump says. Well, why don't you do something about it? You are the president. Who are you asking to do something? God? Batman? Like, who are you trying to call? Who are you trying to summon to do something? You are the president. So if this is real, why aren't you doing anything? This is a classic President DJT maneuver here, the entire administration really, where they're like, all of these crimes from the Democrats, all of these absolutely abhorrent, vile crimes that the Democrats have done. No more playing nice, no more Mr. Nice Guy. We're showing our teeth. we're baring our fangs and we're going to get something done about it. And then nothing. It's all just posturing. It's all performative. It is a game, and they are playing you. They are preying upon your gullibility and your inclination to be afraid, to constantly keep you in fear, because when you are afraid and when you are convinced that the other side is doing all of these things to get you, you are so fucking easy to control. You're so malleable. That's why they're playing that shit in the airports now about how, like, the Democrats are Satan and all of that. If you have all of this overwhelming evidence that you claim to have about all of these crimes and all of this shit that the Democrats have done, why have you done nothing?
Yeah,
you would be just as guilty in that case. What is the quote? The only thing it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing? Well, if you know that all of this evil is happening from the Democrats and you're doing nothing, you're just as guilty. Like, this is so clearly obvious to anyone that's thinking for more than 5 fucking seconds. And you don't even need to be thinking for 5 seconds to see this new Truth Social stinker here that he squeaked out as anything other than just a sham. Like, this should just be alarming into the mental decline of Trump.
It's a hoax. This is a hoax. That's
he
a hoax.
was president on January 6th. He controlled the FBI, not Biden. Biden was probably out riding his bike to a fucking twisty treat. I don't think he was down there as the puppet master pulling the strings, putting FBI agents in January 6th. Like, it is so crazy, and yet people will just swallow it. They will swallow any shit that Trump feeds them happily, even when they know it's something bad. Like Ted Cruz saying that he got into Congress 13 years ago solely to represent the interests of Israel.
Video I was trying to find.
He is an American politician who openly states that he is here for Israel. That, again, like I said, feels treasonous to me. And I imagine most people in a different time period would feel the same, but because of how tribalistic politics has become, if you're a big MAGA enthusiast, Trump supporter, you have to somehow just hand wave that and support it because that's what you're told you need to do.
Yeah.
Even though anyone should be able to hear that and be concerned. Why does Israel have such a huge stranglehold on the American political landscape and such a massive say-so in how American companies do their business? And why do they even have, like, the ability to start making demands about what needs to be censored in regards to their atrocities on American platforms? It would be alarming to everyone if the political sphere wasn't just, I have to support everything from this side no matter what. It is fucking scary. Now, I do want to make a mention of something. It's not all horrible, awful news. There's actually a ceasefire going on right now. And I can only pray that it sticks. With Netanyahu, you never really fucking know. But I can only keep my fingers crossed and pray for the absolute best for the Palestinians and hope that going forward, the people of Gaza will no longer need to fear being massacred by Netanyahu's IDF. Now, I know I said at the beginning of the video, the focus of this was going to be on the crypto collapse and the super lucky guy that happened to make $190 million going against all rational thinking and against all the odds. Truly a miracle.
Yeah.
But I couldn't help myself. This is just so preposterous. But now, let's finally dive into the crypto collapse.
He made $190 million in less than 24 hours. And he stopped a minute before.
CoffeeZilla made a video going over this. It's extremely well put together, so I'm going to be showing you some clips of that as we talk about it.
I don't even know what this is. I think this is all legal, kind of. I don't think it should be, as you'll see.
Thing is, even if it wasn't legal, it wouldn't matter. There will be no justice pursued regardless, because I think it's pretty clear that whoever this is, they are part of Trump's inner circle of cronies, and they had this knowledge beforehand, what was coming. And it doesn't take a genius to recognize that imposing these huge tariffs on China was going to have a huge effect on the market. So it was a pretty easy opportunity for them to short with that knowledge in mind and make an unbelievable amount of money. Again, if it is legal, it shouldn't be, like CoffeeZilla says. But even if it isn't legal, it won't matter, because they're not going to do anything about it.
But the question is, what did this guy know? Okay, how did somebody make $190 million while everyone else was losing their shirts yesterday? If you don't know, there was one of the biggest crashes we've ever seen in crypto. And someone came in 24 hours before and started placing shorts against the market. Short is just when you bet that the underlying asset is going to go down in price and you will make money on that. Now, this all started October 9th. at 16:39 GMT time. They start accumulating this Bitcoin short.
So T-minus 24 hours until the rest of the world knows this information about the impending tariffs. They come in with $80 million that they start shorting Bitcoin with. That is not like a gamble or anything. That feels like they knew for sure something was going to happen.
Yeah.
That is a crazy amount to come out of nowhere with to short Bitcoin.
Now, the amount is unusual, but that
Bitcoin. Shorting Bitcoin.
That itself is not the unusual part. Then we have Ethereum starts to get shorted at 3:49 GMT. Interesting. $30 million gets deposited into this account. Immediately start placing major bets that the market is going to go down. Why is this significant? Well, because at 14:57, this is only a few hours later, like 12 hours later, Trump posts on Truth Social that they are calculating a massive increase on Chinese tariffs.
Zoinks. That's really lucky. This account comes out of nowhere, swinging huge numbers, slinging big-time fucking doubloons here on these shorts, and then shortly after, well, it looks like something might be happening to the market here with these potential tariffs that they're calculating.
Where I think this goes from suspicious to downright diabolical is the fact that at this point, the market dips a little bit because you have these threats of tariffs. But the person does not start closing out their shorts yet.
No, that's not weird. This trader's just got diamond hands. What? He's not going to close out his position based off of just that one tweet there. No, that wouldn't make any sense. He's just got strong paws to really grip onto his positions here.
Which I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
You place this huge short bet.
The fact that, I mean, it's not illegal is nuts.
And then the president tweets something like this, you would think you would close out your order, but not only do they not do that, not only do they not close out their short, they continue to place short bets against Bitcoin. In fact, this person continues to short Bitcoin all the way up till 2049 23 GMT.
Millions of dollars anyway.
Why is that significant, ladies and gentlemen? It's because 2049 is the last short he places, okay? 2050 GMT. A minute later, 1 minute later, Trump announces they're considering an 100% tariff on China, which of course tanks the market.
Tanked it.
And this person makes literally $190 million in 24 hours.
Then over the course of the next half hour, they close out all of their shorts and they cash out big time. Jackpot. Wow, did they get lucky or what, huh? Man, I cannot believe the coinky-dink there.
Yeah.
Shorting all the way up until 1 minute before Trump's tweet. Geez, some guys have all the luck. You would actually need to be the biggest fucking stupidest troglodyte on the planet to think.
I literally just heard that case today. Well, you could get lucky. You know, you could be lucky.
Until 1 minute before Trump's tweet. Geez, some guys have all the luck. You would actually need to be the biggest fucking stupidest troglodyte on the planet to think that this was just like a lucky, miracle.
80 million. I'm just gonna, fuck it. I mean, I just got this feeling. $80 million. $30 million in Ethereum. Fuck it, right? I'm just gonna short it. And then less than 24 hours later, and then you're like, I'm done. Boop. You have fucking $180 million now. There you go. Luckiest man in the world, dude.
Trade here from this individual. This is clearly someone that had information about what was coming. The speculation is that it's Barron Trump. There's a lot of people that are providing their loose evidence that it's Barron. Nothing's confirmed on who this is, and I don't think there will ever be confirmation on who this was.
There won't be.
But it doesn't take a galaxy brain 5-digit IQ genius to see this and recognize that the only way that something like this happens is if that person had prior knowledge of what was coming.
And they knew
There's no other explanation for it. So while everyone else lost tons of money, some people lost everything. This crash was so colossal that some people took their own lives because of it. The only way that someone went totally against the grain all the way up until 1 minute before the fucking, bomb dropped from Trump here is if, like, it's just, I think it is so clear. And the only way you could possibly think anything else is if you're already brainwashed and mind controlled and stuck in a cult mentality. I really don't know what it will take to snap people out of this. The people that are just so far gone and willing to deny all the evidence of their eyes and ears, that they're constantly being told that they need to. Following these orders of just deny everything that you see and hear from this administration and everything going on. I don't know how you bring them back into, like, being able to think. Like, actually be able to think. It's fucking terrifying. It's actually extremely scary. So, yeah, I wanted to yap about this morning.
That's about it.
That's really about it. So, yeah.
Dude. I don't know if you saw this or not. Where's the full interview? I need the full... I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it's pretty interesting.
If you need to make video...
Pretty damn interesting here. Just how many questions... Just how many questions he actually answers.
Who are under active investigation. George?
Pierre Thomas, thanks. And we're joined now by Vice President J.D. Vance. Mr. Vice President, thank you for joining us this morning. Let's start with the Middle East. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Hamas has confirmed they are holding 20 living hostages, and that those hostages are going to be released in the next 24 hours, early as today, perhaps. Have 20 living hostages been confirmed? When do you expect to see them?
Well, they've been confirmed, George. Of course, you don't know until you see...
Directly answered. They have been confirmed.
These people alive, but thank God we expect to see them alive here in the next 24 hours, probably early tomorrow morning, U.S. time, which will be later in the day, of course, in Israel. But look, George, we have to remember this is a remarkable achievement from an administration that really chose...
And then now your agenda comes.
Look, George, we have to remember this is a remarkable achievement from an administration that really chose a non-conventional path to diplomacy. And I think that's the major takeaway. The President of the United States instructed Marco Rubio...
Not that 20 hostages got released, but...
Achievement from an administration that really chose a non-conventional path to diplomacy. And I think that's the major takeaway. The President of the United States instructed Marco Rubio, Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, he said, get a deal done. Talk to the Gulf Arab states. Talk to Israel, find where there's common ground here, and actually let's go and find a way to get it done. And because of that, we are on the cusp of true peace in the Middle East, really for the first time in my lifetime. Certainly,
his blink rate is really high. He blinks a lot.
George, I think this is a great moment for our country. Our country should be proud of our diplomats who made this happen. It's really a great moment for the world, too, which is why the president's going to go over there and celebrate with these hostages. But it's a great thing, and I'm very excited about it.
200 U.S. troops are being sent to Israel to monitor the agreement. What exactly will they be doing? Will they actually go into Gaza?
I haven't seen this full interview, and I think that's what we really need to do is watch the full thing to kind of see how it plays out.
And are you concerned they could get caught in some crossfire?
To see how it plays out and see how many questions he answers.
200 U.S. troops are being sent to Israel to monitor the agreement. What exactly will they be doing? Will they actually go into Gaza? And are you concerned they could get caught in some crossfire?
They go into Gaza, and could they get caught in crossfire?
George, so that story is actually misreported. We already have troops at Central Command. We've had them for decades in this country. They are going to monitor the terms of the ceasefire. And that's everything from ensuring that the Israeli troops are at the agreed-upon line, ensuring that Hamas is not attacking innocent Israelis, doing everything that they can to ensure the peace that we've created actually sustains and endures. But the idea that we're going to have troops on the ground in Gaza, in Israel, that is not our intention. That is not our plan. There's a bit of a misreporting there, but we are going to monitor this peace to ensure that it endures. The other piece of good news that's been underreported, I think, George, is that Indonesia and a number of other majority Muslim states, they've actually offered to send ground troops to Gaza to ensure the necessary peacekeeping takes place. That's not
that should have been done long ago. I've been saying this, bro. Boots on the ground. That's how it's fucking done. Don't bomb buildings.
The United States is going to be expected to do. That's something the Muslim world is going to step up and do. And that, again, is because of the Trump administration's diplomacy.
The president has also pushed for National Guard deployments in several American cities as you know. That's been questioned by several federal judges, including Trump appointees, also the Republican governor of Oklahoma and chairman of the National Governors Association, Kevin Stitt. Here's what Governor Stitt said. We believe in the federalist system that states' rights. Oklahomans would lose their mind if Pritzker and Illinois sent troops down to Oklahoma during the Biden administration.
Yeah.
How do you respond to Governor Stitt?
Well, I'd say to Governor Stitt, you have to look at what's happening on the ground in Chicago. And the reason why Illinois is a different case from Chicago is because Chicago has been given over to lawlessness and gangs for too long, George. If you look at the
crime
murder
is
rates in Chicago, the violent crime
crime's
rates,
going down.
You have women who have young families. They're terrified their kids are going to get killed in a drive-by shooting. We have accepted this for far too long in the United States of America and some of our biggest cities, and Chicago, unfortunately, is the worst. It's a beautiful city. It's got great people. We know the gross majority of the violent crime in that city is committed by a very tiny fraction of the population. Why shouldn't federal troops empower the people in Chicago to live safe lives when the governor and the local mayor?
I did this earlier, but Arkansas's crime rate, they have 620 people, just Arkansas, per 100,000, okay? Let's look at Illinois as a state. No, because he said Chicago is different. So that was what, 620 per 100,000? $359. Here is that for the whole state of Illinois. One report that the perception of violence has ranked 30th at the most dangerous state. Huh. Let's see, most dangerous cities in the U.S. Memphis, St. Louis, Oakland, Detroit, New Orleans, Kansas City, Baltimore. Let's see here. Chicago is number 9. Portland's number 17. Oakland, California is number 6. New Mexico. There's nothing in Memphis, Tennessee, number 1. Very high crime rate. They're doing nothing in Memphis. They're doing nothing in Florida, and they have 3 cities in their state. They're doing nothing. They're going here and here. Because if, I don't know, I'm going to just spew a theory out here. So if Chicago runs more Republican and it becomes a red city, and this becomes a red city, does that sway the election in any way? I'm sure it does. Memphis. So, where's it at? Chicago. So, compared to Chicago, yeah, that's a lot, bro. But they're only going to super blue cities. Just thought I should point that out. Oops.
Just simply refuse to do their job.
I'll rewind it.
Unfortunately, is the worst. It's a beautiful city. It's got great people. We know the gross majority of the violent crime in that city is committed by a very tiny fraction of the population.
It's talking Chicago.
Why shouldn't federal troops empower the people in Chicago to live safe lives when the governor and the local mayor just simply refuse to do their job?
But as you know, a federal judge, a U.S. district judge, has blocked the effort to deploy troops in Chicago. And it was Judge Perry, and she actually said that a lot of these claims that were made, especially in the court filings, lack credibility.
Yeah. And as I just pointed out,
well, George, we're obviously going to litigate.
How many of them are sanctuary cities? That's a good question. New York City, Chicago, Denver, and LA. Examples. Okay, give me more. Every single one. see. So it is a law, right? Let's see here. State legislation that has county or county equivalent either contains a municipality that is sanctuary for illegal immigration or one itself. Okay. Chicago, Portland, right? Chicago and Portland. Memphis, Tennessee is not a sanctuary city. Is not a sanctuary city. There's nothing in Tennessee that is. Florida, Miami, Jacksonville, those are not sanctuary cities. Austin, I think that would be in Austin. Or something like that. Houston. Yeah, that's Houston, number 12, that's a sanctuary city. Washington, D.C., number 15, I'm sure that's a sanctuary city. Yeah, I'm sure. So 1, 2, but they're only deployed in 2 cities, and both of them are sanctuary cities. Yeah, 2. 2 of them are. To answer your question, 2. 3. Four. Number 1 is still not. 5. 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14. 14. 15 out of, what is it? 30. So half of them. Half of them are.
This as much as we can. We
That's
think
a really
that we
good
have
question.
the authority to provide proper safety to our citizens all over the United States, but particularly in Chicago. But I think for any federal judge or anybody else to look at this situation and say, is it tolerable? And I think the obvious answer, George, is no. The president looks at this situation. He sees the fact that you have multiple people dying of murders every weekend in the city of Chicago, and he says, this is intolerable. And it's not just the people who live in Chicago.
Memphis,
it's the
I'm
law
sure.
enforcement in Chicago, federal,
and
state,
Miami.
and local, who are trying to keep us safe, George. You've seen ICE agents being teed off on in suburban Chicago, in places all over the state of Illinois, and other places too. You see 1,000% increase in violence against our ICE agents. They're being
because they're poking.
Assaulted, they're being beaten, they're being shot at. I think all Americans, Democrat or Republican, we look at this scenario, we say, this is not acceptable. We want people to be safe. We want our law enforcement officials to be empowered to keep us safe. We can do this, and that's exactly what the Trump administration has committed to doing.
Governor Pritzker is our next guest. President Trump has said that he should be in jail. Do you think Governor Pritzker has committed a crime?
Well, I think Governor Pritzker has certainly failed to keep the people of Illinois safe. And it's interesting to me, you know, Governor Pritzker will talk a lot, I'm sure, about how bad Donald Trump is, about how bad I am, and about how bad the administration is. He is the governor of a state that where its biggest city has murder rates that rival the most violent places in the third. I am, and about how bad the administration is. He is the governor of a state that where its biggest city has murder rates that rival the most violent places in the third world, George.
He is number 9. So there are 8 that are higher than him in America. Memphis, Detroit, Baltimore, Albuquerque, St. Louis, Oakland, New Orleans, Milwaukee. What just happened? Milwaukee. Okay? Most of these cities are red. Most of these cities are red. And he's not talking about illegal immigration. He's talking about just crime in general here.
How bad the administration is. He is the governor of a state that where its biggest city has murder rates that rival the most violent places in the third world, George. Why is he so mad at Donald Trump for trying to keep Chicagoans safe? He should be mad at the criminals that he has failed to keep at bay. We're trying to help him, and we're trying to help the residents of his biggest city. I wish that he would let us, because he certainly isn't doing the job himself.
I asked if you agree with President Trump that Governor Pritzker has committed a crime.
Didn't answer that question.
Well, I think that Governor Pritzker has allowed a lot of people to be killed in the city of Chicago.
Agree with President Trump that Governor...
We're trying to help him, and we're trying to help the residents of his biggest city. I wish that he would let us, because he certainly isn't doing the job himself.
I asked if you agree with President Trump that Governor Pritzker has committed a crime.
Do you think he has committed a crime? Do you agree with Donald Trump do you agree with him on the point that Pritzker has committed a crime? Yes or no?
Well, I think that Governor Pritzker has allowed a lot of people to be killed in the city of Chicago and elsewhere, George. I think that it's disgraceful, and I think that he absolutely should suffer some consequences for the fact that there are thousands of innocent Chicagoans who are dead because he failed to do his job.
Consequences.
It's really a yes or no question. Do you believe he's committed a crime?
George, you're going to keep on asking this question. I'm going to keep on telling you that Governor Pritzker
yes
has failed to do his job.
He
should suffer some consequences, whether he's violated a crime.
He's not gonna go off script. He's not gonna go off script. You're gonna hear him say the exact same thing he just answered that last question with.
George, you're going to keep on asking this question. I'm going to keep on telling you that Governor Pritzker has failed to do his job. He should suffer some consequences, whether he's violated a crime. Ultimately, I would leave to the courts, but I certainly think that he has violated his fundamental oath of office. That seems pretty criminal to me. I'd leave it to a judge and jury to decide whether he's actually violated the crime.
Let me also ask you, as we saw the indictment this week of Letitia James on questions of mortgage fraud. Also, Lisa Cook has been accused by the Trump administration of committing mortgage fraud as well. The journalism outlet ProPublica has actually published a story, and I want to show it up on the screen right now, that says that several members of the Trump administration have faced similar questions. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRemer entered into 2 primary residence mortgages in quick succession. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has primary residence mortgages in New Jersey and Washington, D.C. Lee Zeldin, the Environmental Protection Agency administrator, has 1 primary residence mortgage in Long Island and another in Washington, D.C. How do you respond to critics who say that the Trump administration is engaging in a double standard here?
I'd say 2 things, George. First of all, ProPublica is basically a left-wing blog. I'm not shocked that you found a left-wing blog that can attack members of the Trump administration. But second, and this is the most important, is what does the law say? Letitia James was indicted in a left-leaning part of our country, a part that voted very heavily against Donald J. Trump, for the crime of mortgage fraud. When I read the indictment, when I read the facts in the case, I see a person who committed mortgage fraud. Now, of course, the jury is going to decide whether she ultimately committed a crime. We don't try her. The administration doesn't try her. A judge tries the case, and a jury decides whether she's ultimately guilty. That is what is going to determine whether she goes to prison. I think we let the facts drive this, and George, that's what we've tried to do in the administration's Department of Justice. We've asked ourselves, has a person violated the law? And if that person has violated the law, then we decide to prosecute him. That's what the Department of Justice should do. It didn't do that under Joe Biden's administration. It does under Donald Trump's.
On the facts, do you dispute the facts that ProPublica reported?
Do I dispute a far-left blog that I haven't read that you brought up in this interview? I have no idea, George. I have no idea what they actually said. But I certainly question the source. I question their credibility. And most importantly, I'm not worried about what they said about members of our administration. I ask the question, what does the law say? And if the law says that you engaged in mortgage fraud, and a local prosecutor, a local grand jury, and finally a jury convicts you of that crime, then that is how the justice system is meant to work in the United States of America.
The White House border czar Tom Homan was recorded on an FBI surveillance tape in September 2024, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money or give it back?
George, you've covered the story
Did he
ad
keep that
nauseum.
money or
Tom
give it
Homan
back?
did not take a bribe. It's a ridiculous smear.
Deny.
And the reason you guys are going after Tom Homan so aggressively is because he's doing the job of enforcing the law. I think it's really preposterous. I know Tom. I think that he's a good man. He gets death threats. He gets attacked. He gets constantly threatened by people because he has the audacity to want to enforce the country's immigration laws. I think that it would be a much more interesting story about why is it that Tom Homan, who is simply enforcing Americans' immigration laws, is getting constantly harassed and threatened to the point of death threats. That's a much more interesting question that I think journalists should focus on.
That's a crazy, like I'm going to take control of the narrative right now, and I'm going to make him look like a victim, even though he accepted a bribe on tape. And then he was asked, by the way, the question was, did he keep the money or give it back?
Enforcing Americans' immigration laws is getting constantly harassed and threatened to the point of death threats. That's a much more interesting question that I think journalists should focus on. We can agree on that question.
Well, wait, you said he didn't take a bribe, but I'm not sure you answered the question. Are you saying that he did not accept the $50,000?
George, this story has been covered ad nauseum. He did not take a bribe. Did he accept $50,000? I'm sure that in the course of Tom Homan's life, he has been paid more than $50,000 for services. The question is, did he do something illegal? And there's absolutely no evidence that Tom Homan has ever taken a bribe or done anything illegal, which is why he's working in the administration.
I'm asking you, did he accept the $50,000 that was caught on the surveillance tape? Did he accept that $50,000 or not?
George, I don't know what you're talking about. Did he accept $50,000 for what?
He was recorded on an audio tape in September 2024, an FBI surveillance tape, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money?
Accepting $50,000 for doing what, George? I'm not even sure I understand the question. Is it illegal to take a payment for doing services? The FBI has not prosecuted him. I've never seen any evidence that he's engaged in criminal wrongdoing. Nobody has accused Tom of violating a crime, even the far-left media like yourself. So I'm actually not sure what the precise question is. Did he accept $50,000?
I don't understand.
Honestly, George,
I don't understand what you're talking about, bro. I don't get your question. Sorry.
I don't know the answer to that question. What I do know is that he didn't violate a crime.
So you don't, what was caught on the tape, you're saying right now you don't know whether or not he kept that money?
I don't know what tape you're referring to, George. I saw media reports that Tom Homan accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here's, George, why fewer and fewer people watch your program and why you're losing credibility. Because you're talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video
you're not
that you're
answering
talking
the
about.
questions.
Meanwhile, low-income women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government.
Yep,
you are focused on a bogus story.
Say it again.
You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy
saying it.
who
Keep
is
saying it, and it'll eventually come true.
Because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government. You are focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next. We'll be right back. Have you ever wanted to
That's
see your...
so fucking that's fucking hilarious. Okay.
We're heading to Chicago to stand because we want to save Chicago. Do you know they had over 4,000 people killed in Chicago over a short 4,000 people.
Over a short.
And I have to watch this slob of a governor stand up and say that, well, everything's okay. We've got it under control.
Here in Chicago, we have brought crime down precipitously. The president, on the other hand, has some idea
that's
in
what
his
the
head
fucking graph
that things
said.
are getting worse and worse. It's a hellhole. It's some kind of hellscape in Chicago or in Illinois.
And we are joined now by Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Yeah,
Governor Pritzker,
I mean, dude, the statistics are pointing into he's right.
He didn't directly answer whether he agreed with President Trump that you've committed a crime, but what he did say was it seems pretty criminal to him, your behavior. What's your response?
Well, you just heard a tidal wave.
Now, don't get me wrong. I really do. I really want to agree with the President of the United States of America. I really do. I take no pleasure in disagreeing with him. It makes me sad, and it makes me kind of feel sick. And I don't know, man. It's just like you're somebody people should look up to. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, I don't want to be that. That is something that I do not want to be. Like, at all. Like, that's just not good. And I think the president is one of those people who needs to be somebody you look up to. If there is a minimum age you can be president, which is 35, there needs to be a maximum age that you can be president. And I think that this should hit the floor, and term limits should also hit the floor. And or it should be on ballots and shit like that. Petition the government to do term limits and shit.
Of lies from the Vice President of the United States. It's a bit shocking, and you heard over and over again him just making things up on national television with you. You know, there's a reason why the judge here in federal court said that the administration lacks credibility, and why even the Nobel Prize Committee chair said that the administration lacks integrity. This administration, led by a 34-time convicted felon, is threatening to jail people that are their political opponents. They're making things up to go after people. We're seeing it day in and day out. And the fact that he's made a threat against me,
I don't see any evidence pointing towards that.
I'm going to stand up for the people of my state. And we've got to all stand together, because there is truly unconstitutional actions that are coming out of this administration.
I agree with that.
Coming at the states and the people of the United States. And all of us, Democrats and Republicans, need to speak out about it. One thing I'd point out, you mentioned...
And I haven't heard that argument before. I knew that I couldn't be, but I thought that I was. The only one kind of realizing, like, dude, this is an amendment you're fucking breaking, especially with the flag burning.
Coming at the states and the people of the United States. And all of us, Democrats and Republicans, need to speak out about it. One thing I'd point out, you mentioned Governor Stitt, who said specifically, like, we shouldn't be federalizing troops in one state and sending them into another, that he would be offended if I had troops going into his state. I am offended that Greg Abbott has troops coming into my state. And even Governor Scott in Vermont has called this unconstitutional. So good news, Republicans are now calling out the Trump administration. More should do so.
As you know, President Trump called for the prosecution of James Comey. It happened. He called for the prosecution of Letitia James.
And it happened.
He said, you committed a crime. Are you worried the Justice Department is going to come after you?
It's true that the president says things, and sometimes he follows through on those threats, and he certainly has the power.
True. What was the Justice Department is going to come after you.
It's true that the president says things, and sometimes he follows through on those threats, and he certainly has the power of the presidency. He does not have the power to overcome the Constitution. And so am I afraid? I am not afraid. Do I think that he could do it? He might. But as I've said before,
which is not good.
I mean, you're dead wrong, Mr. President and Mr. Vice President. And I will stand up for the law and the Constitution. That's what we do in the state of Illinois.
The latest federal judge has allowed troops from Texas to remain in Illinois, but said they can't be deployed in Chicago. What is the situation exactly on the ground right now?
Well, there are federalized troops that have been sent here from Texas. They are in a federal facility. They're not allowed to come onto the streets of Chicago or our suburbs or anywhere in Illinois, according to the determination of the judge. We have also troops from California, not sent by California, but rather by the president when they were deterred from Oregon. So we've got 2 states, other states' troops, and of course the Illinois National Guard that's been federalized and under the direction of the President of the United States. None are allowed on the streets of Chicago right now because we've won the temporary restraining order and the appeal of that.
So legally
TRO.
they can't do it.
And we hope to continue to win. Look, we've got to rely on the courts.
Agree
to
or
do the
disagree,
right
they
thing.
can't
I
do it.
realize
It's illegally, they can't do
sometimes
anything.
that's risky business.
If they do
especially
anything,
when
it's
some have
illegal.
been appointed by Donald Trump. But we've seen that even a Trump-appointed judge out in California, in the West Coast, has ruled against the administration. So I do think that their oath of office actually matters to them and that they'll make the right determination.
But as you just heard Vice President Vance say that those troops are necessary because under your watch, under the watch of the mayor of Chicago, the streets have been given over to lawlessness. Those are his words.
Yeah, well, you know, they've said that Portland is on fire. Portland is not on fire.
Yeah.
In Chicago, we've cut the homicide rate in half. We've got double-digit declines in all of our violent crime statistics. He says that we've got the highest
and you
crime
can look
rate
that up.
in the
You can
entire
pull that
world.
up.
That's ridiculous. We're not even in the top 25 cities in the United States. And Illinois itself is the 19th highest crime rate in the entire world. That's ridiculous. We're not even in the top 25 cities in the United States.
I think he just lied. Yeah, 9. When was this uploaded? October 11th. Yeah, bro, you can't say that, bro. You can't say that. That's not fucking true. We're not even in the top 25, did he say? Yeah, he just fucking made that up.
Crime statistics. He says that we've got the highest crime rate in the entire world. That's ridiculous. We're not even in the top 25 cities in the United States. And Illinois itself is the 19th safest state in the United States. I'd like to be in the top 10, but 19th is a whole heck of a lot better than Texas or Florida.
But if the president invokes the Insurrection Act, there's not much you can do, is there?
Well, the Insurrection Act is called the Insurrection Act for a reason. There has to be a rebellion. There has to be an insurrection in order for him to be allowed to invoke it. Again, he can say anything he wants, but if the Constitution means anything, and I guess we all are questioning that right now, but
we're about to
courts will
find
make
out.
the determination. If the Constitution means anything, the Insurrection Act cannot be invoked to send them in because they want to fight crime. Let me add that they're claiming in court that that's not the reason that they're calling up troops to send them into our states. They're claiming in court that this is about protecting ICE facilities and ICE agents and not about crime on the streets. But then you hear Vice President Vance and the President of the United States contravening that and saying exactly what they actually think. They just want troops on the ground because they want to militarize, especially blue cities in blue states.
Governor Pritzker, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, George.
Roundtable's up next. We'll be right back.
Okay. I'm not going to listen to these. I'm not going to listen to these guys. But yeah, I mean, I think him cutting him off and not letting him finish is...
And from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
I did nothing criminal. Did nothing criminal, but I did deny. He denied taking it, failing to repeat a claim first offered by the White House. MSNBC reported Friday that Homan accepted the cash payment in September of last year Mr. Homan never took the $50,000. Who's she? Oh, yeah. Caroline, leave it. Mr. Homan never took $50,000. Is this a diaphragm? Yo! That you're referring to, so you should just get your facts straight. Number one, she told reporters. Look, I did nothing criminal. I did nothing illegal. It's hit piece after hit piece after hit piece, and I'm glad the FBI and DOJ came out and said, said that nothing illegal happened, no criminal activity. Because he's one of theirs. He's one of their guys. That's why. Yeah, release the tapes. Release the tapes. I want to hear him deny taking that money. Legal experts, however, told MSNBC that Homan's conduct could be illegal regardless of whether he accepted the money or whether he delivered on any promise to help with contracts. It's unlawful to take money or improperly influence federal contracting, even if someone is able to deliver on their promise to do so. However, someone cannot be charged under federal bribery statutes until they are a public official. According to MSNBC, prosecutors working on the case decided to wait until Homan assumed a position under the Trump administration before considering charges, but the matter was not pursued after the inauguration. You're talking about a guy who spent 34 years in enforcing law. I mean, left a very successful business that I ran to come back and work for a government again. He told Fox's Laura Ingraham, I'm back on a government paycheck. Not only did I sacrifice, my family sacrifices. I make sacrifices every day. I got more death threats than anybody. I got a security team around me, but guess what? My kids don't, my wife don't, he continued. Why would you say that? I mean, I haven't lived with my wife in months because I don't want her to be here right now with all the threats. Okay. This does not say that he didn't take... None of this says I didn't take a bribe. None of this. It's just saying, I'm getting death threats. I'm getting death threats and I'm a good man. Oops. Reports. So there's FBI reports that say he did. Unfortunately. Yeah, Pam Bondi also said... Remember when she said, yeah, this right here.
Donald Trump is the most transparent president in our nation's history. We are all acting at his directive, and America will be transparent again as well.
I can't comment on whether we have or have not, or do not. I can't discuss that matter, as you know, Senator. I'm not going to discuss anything about that with you.
It's a new day, it's a new administration, and everything's going to come out to the public.
There's not much more we can say about the issue. I don't want to discuss any of that publicly. You can talk to Director Patel about that.
We believe in transparency, and America has the right to know.
I'm not going to discuss the facts of a pending case. You're welcome to talk to the FBI. Senator, I can't discuss anything.
You won't even say whether you talked to the White House about this?
I am not going to discuss any internal conversations with the White House with you, Ranking Member.
I noticed that.
Okay, guys. They're lying to you. They're all lying to you. Like I said, with the Chicago mayor, he just completely made up that statistic. How long are you gonna believe him for? Is the question I'm gonna the question I'm gonna leave off with is, how long is it gonna take until what line are they gonna cross for you to stop trusting the government? And are they hypocrites? Is also a great question. Are they hypocrites? Who's really enticing violence out there? Real quick, I'm gonna just see what Portland protests live. Let's see. I want to live stream. I just want to take a look at Portland right now. Dude, the Nick Beam stream. He's live. I just wanted to take a look at this.
Look, they're running. Someone's running all the way down there. That person is running.
Good night, boys. Bye.
Oh, they're just playing it on repeat. This isn't live. It looks like a war zone. It's on fire. The video of Christy Nome looking down. Live, somebody said. I'm very surprised nobody's... Oh, they're probably... Yeah, they probably are on Rumble.
And at least they're trying really, like, I didn't run up from that the information is final.
No, I infiltrated Antifa for the past couple of weeks. I've been in their tent. I got free shit from them.
Okay, you gotta go up here. Go up here and say it. Watch out.
Yes.
Infiltrated Antifa.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, that's not good. Somebody should find this lady. Been living in their tent. Type shit.
Okay, yes. You took the wind out of their sails. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like compared to what it's been.
Uh-oh, we're gonna go check out Richard.
Hey, it doesn't seem very violent to me.
This next Saturday. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I didn't fuck your mom, bro. I keep telling you guys I didn't fuck your mom or your girl. You keep saying I fucked a dog, but... Hey, tell your mom you might have to rise it hard.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it off with that. It doesn't look like it's very violent today, in my opinion. Okay. Remember, are they hypocrites? When is enough enough?